What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some of the most surprising things about Norway. So, today, I want to take a look at this Facebook discussion where somebody asked, what's a Norwegian thing or a Norwegian law or rule that surprised you? And a whole bunch of people have answered this question. And to be honest, most of us Americans really don't know anything about Norway or what it's like in Norway. So I thought it'd be cool to take a look at this discussion, take a look at some of the answers here, and learn about some of the different ways that Norway is different from the United States. So let's take a look here, starting with the first one. Essentially, you can be on sick leave for 4 years? What? What? That can't possibly be true. What? You can be on sick leave for 4 years in a row without losing your job? How is that? How on earth could that be possible? Four. I understand. Okay. All right. I gotta take a breath here because this is this true? Now I have to know, is this true? I understand that in different countries outside of America, you guys have a lot more generous benefits. Your jobs are a lot more understanding. You get more sick leave, more maternity leave, more vacation. I understand that. But you can't tell me you can be sick for 4 years. Is this some kind of weird law in Norway or some kind of loophole, or you can be sick and away from your job for 4 years? 4 years. You you could you could have a child. You could have 3 children in that time. You could a lot can happen in 4 years. That's a long time of your life. Um, that I feel like there's probably a more explanation to this, but in Norway you can be sick for a very long time and not lose your job. Honestly, that's very cool. 4 years is extreme, but in America, like in contrast to Norway, in America here, a lot of people don't have very good benefits. The government doesn't mandate that employers give you a certain amount of sick days. You can be fired for a lot of reasons. Um, in America, you're usually given like 5 to 10 sick days a year. Yeah, there is a limited amount of days you can be sick. You can't just be out of the office. Like, even if you're sick, eventually you just have to go back to your job or you're going to get fired. So that's why this really confuses me, I think. Okay. Oh my God. Not serving double alcoholic drinks. In Norway, you don't serve double alcoholic drinks. What is it? I don't like drink that much alcohol. I'm not exactly sure what a double alcoholic drink is. Um, is that illegal in Norway? Because I'm sure in America, like I have friends that drink more and go out to bars, and I'm sure there's drinks where you can get double the alcohol or whatever. That doesn't sound crazy. But in Norway, is it actually illegal to have double alcoholic drinks? Like you can't even do that if you want it. I don't know. There's obviously some different laws around alcohol in Norway. Um, Deworming dogs. What about it? what what does that mean? You can't. Is deworming dogs illegal in Norway? Is it different? I don't know what that means. Picnic tables everywhere. Oh, wow. That's cool. So, is that true? In Norway, you have picnic tables everywhere? In America, here, I mean, you'll randomly see some picnic tables, especially at a park. You'll see some. There's not a lot. And it's really because in here in the United States, we don't eat outside that much. We don't go outside that much. We don't hike. We don't That's not very popular in America. So this one actually makes sense to me that somewhere like Norway would have a lot more picnic tables because it seems like Norway is beautiful. You guys get out. It makes sense that you have a lot more picnic tables. That actually makes sense to me. In Norway, if you own one horse, you must have a second horse. Probably to have company for the first horse. What? What? This is some kind of weird, obscure law in Norway. This is some law. Is this true? In Norway, if you own a horse, do a lot of Norwegians, do you guys even own horses? Is that normal? That's pretty rare in America. And you have to get a second horse so that the first horse is not lonely. I mean, that's very sweet. I don't know if that's a real thing. I was a bartender in Norway and thought this a very odd law. What? The no double alcohol thing? When I lived in Norway in the 1960s, all cars had to have mud flaps installed. All cars? Like a mud flap goes behind your wheel. Big trucks have mud flaps to prevent rocks and mud from shooting out the back of your car. Every car in Norway had to have mud flaps. Is that true? That seems very extreme. Why would that be? Do you guys have like crazy roads with tons of mud and rocks? Maybe your roads are different. At the airport, a bartender was not allowed to mix the soda with whiskey. I had to do it. I had to combine it. Whoa! There's clearly some surprising laws about alcohol in Norway that I didn't know about. You can't mix certain alcohol, you can't mix soda and whiskey. That's incredibly common in America. Why is that illegal in Norway? I wonder why. Are you guys just like against alcohol? I thought a lot of Norwegians drank though. Maybe it's just beer. I don't know. Norway has the best toilets ever. Norway is famous for the most interesting things. Norway has the best toilets ever in the middle of nowhere. Literally everywhere? Clean, modern, functional. I mean, this is kind of surprising, but this is good. That's a good thing. You guys have bathrooms and toilets? In America, we have public bathrooms, but they're very disgusting. They're not maintained. Sometimes people sleep in them, if they're homeless or public toilets are not good in America, and so there's not that many. We do have those rectangular portable toilets outside, if you know what I mean. In Norway, it sounds like you guys just have awesome, great bathrooms, toilets everywhere, and you guys take good care of them. That's such a little thing, but that would be so nice. That would be so nice to have in America. That's something that we don't really think about enough. Picnic tables in the most unusual places? Oh, you guys don't just have a lot of picnic tables. You have them in unusual places? What does that mean? Picnic tables in unusual places. Simplicity of life, Norwegian kindness, underwater tunnels, or tunnels that go around and round and end up at the top of a mountain. Wow. Okay. You guys have tunnels that go like this? Like up a mountain? I've never seen a tunnel like that. I understand what you're saying. That sounds really cool. What? Why do you have to go straight up a mountain though? And it's a tunnel. I have to see, I have to look up a video of that. That sounds really cool. Um, and you have underwater tunnels? That sounds scary. Do you really have underwater tunnels? I guess Norway has a lot of coast and water, and you guys have a lot of mountains. You guys are really good with the tunnels. I gotta see some of these tunnels. That sounds really cool. What else do we have? As a Norwegian, I find it strange that we are only allowed to buy one pack of painkillers at a time at the supermarket. That is surprising. Interesting. I think I get it. Like, sometimes people abuse medication. In America, people buy a lot of like cough syrup, cough medicine, because it can be used as a drug or something. Um, in America, you can pretty much buy if it's sold at a grocery store, you can pretty much buy as much painkillers as you need, even though that is dangerous. So I kind of understand in Norway if you have regulations around that. Interesting though, because sometimes you just need a lot of pain medicine. Drinking wine in front of kids. I'm not sure what this is saying. Is this saying in Norway it's okay to drink wine in front of kids? Because I guess in America, it's okay. In America, nobody really talks about this. It's okay to drink in front of kids. You shouldn't encourage kids to drink. And in America, you can't drink alcohol until you're 21. But this is probably pretty similar in America and Norway. Giving way to all traffic coming from the right, even tiny side roads, coming out onto a main road. What? That's very surprising. This is a traffic law in Norway. All the time? Is this correct? You have to give way to anybody coming from the right. Even if you're on a big, busy road, you have to let people on a little side road come in from the right. I don't know what I think about that. That is just so different from America. That's not something I've ever thought about. Because in America, if you're on a road, there's nothing stopping you. Like, unless you come to an intersection, then you have to stop. But the idea that you have to stop every time there's a road on the right, if somebody is there, I guess it's nice because it lets people like get places quicker if they're coming from a small road. But in America, you just have to work it out yourself. If you're coming onto a bigger road, you have to wait and find a gap. You know what I mean? Am I understanding this correctly? Because that's a huge difference, if I understand. Janteloven. I've heard of Janteloven. That's the law, the law of Jante in Norway. Like, don't stick out. Don't be too egotistical. Don't brag. Like, fit in and be part of the community. Is I think that's what it means. I like that sentiment, but I have to say that is almost the opposite of what Americans are taught. In America, we're taught to be unique, be an individual, work hard for yourself, like focus on yourself. and be the best and be better than it. That's what we're taught. We don't have a word for it, but it's a very, very different mindset. And clearly, that creates an entirely different culture. It's really interesting, the different philosophies. Really interesting. In a bar, they're not allowed to serve you a double. Okay, I understand now. Sometimes when people are at a bar, they order a drink, they say, give me a double, which means double the alcohol. In Norway, you are just not allowed to do that. The shots are smaller in Europe in general, but you still can't order a double. Wow. Um, I have to keep my dog on a leash even when I'm in the woods and nothing is around. Is that a law in Norway? In America, I don't really know the laws around your dog leashing. I don't know what the laws are. You should keep your dog leashed. Um, but if you're out hiking, like and nobody's around, I understand wanting to take your dog off the leash, but it sounds like in Norway you aren't allowed to do that. Um, Veavgift. Everyone who owned a registered vehicle will pay a road tax for using the road. While we already pay taxes every payday, pay tolls, bompenger. In addition to that, we also pay a road tax. A road tax. If you own a vehicle, you pay an extra road tax. Honestly, I wouldn't. The thing I like about that is, compared to America, we just pay like an income tax, and we have no idea what our money is going towards. We have no idea what the government is doing with it. If there was a road tax, at least I would know that I'm paying for the road. At least I would know. So in that sense, I like it. Very interesting. Tipping is not expected. I've heard in a lot of European countries, tipping is not normal. I love that. In America, you have to tip. You are, it is unthinkable to not tip. That it is a part of going out to an American restaurant, and it's annoying, but we're all guilty. Like you have to tip. Like it is not an option to not tip. That's what we've been taught our whole life. But it'd be nice if servers and waiters were just paid a good wage and tipping was just not a thing because it makes going out very, very expensive. It's very annoying. And in America, when you go to a restaurant, you pretty much are like you're judging the waiter and you're giving them money based on their performance. It's very strange when you think about it. The cost of a driver's license is $3,000. No. No way. There's no way you guys are paying $3,000 for a driver's license. There's why? What? Who has $3,000? What? Is that true? That might be the most shocking thing today that I've learned. Barnevernet, breaking families? I'm not sure what that means. High taxes. Okay. Well, this has been very, very interesting. There's a lot of surprising things about Norway. Norway clearly does a lot of things different from America. There's a lot of things that I actually really like about Norway that maybe we could do. And a few things that really confuse me. I'm going to be honest, but this was really cool to learn about weird, surprising Norwegian things. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on these strange Norwegian things. If you have any insight into these things or any other weird Norwegian things, that'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and learning about Norwegian culture for the first time, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.